right, y'all, we in here. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. What's going on? This is your man Frank. View from the Man Cave. What's good? What's up with it? Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. I hope everybody had a good weekend, a good holiday last week. You know what I mean? It feels good to be back, man. I was in the what you call it? I was in the Facebook pen, man. I was in Facebook correctional for a little bit, but I'm back at it. You know what I mean? I got released, so I'm back in the streets now. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. But we're gonna chop it up tonight, man. I'm gonna try not to keep y'all long, and respect your time, but I just wanted to come back, man, and chop it up with the family, man. See what's going on, see how everybody's doing tonight on this Tuesday. So, um, so welcome, man. I just want to. I'm gonna talk about a few current events, and then we're gonna get right into the topic, man. Breaking down the anatomy and the science of incels. So, like I said, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving, man. I know, we celebrate that for different reasons. I know a lot of us don't really subscribe to the origin of the holiday, but what I mean, it is a good time to get together with the family and all that. And what I mean, if you can, if COVID permitted, what I mean, it was a good time to get with the family, man. Chop it up, sit back and enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? So I hope you guys had the opportunity to do that. Spend some time with a few of your loved ones, man. Enjoy your holiday. I know I did. You know what I mean? My Washington football team, put some work in on Thursday. So had me feeling a little good, had me feeling right. And so what else happened, man? So also this time of year is very sentimental to me. You know what I mean? One of the legends here in the DMV, Sean Taylor, man, he passed away around this time in 2007. So it hit the city hard, man. This young brother had everything in front of him. You know what I mean? He was one of the best players in the league, one of the best safeties in the league. And, he had his whole life in front of him. You know what I mean? Probably had a Hall of Fame career in front of him. And he lost his life to gun violence, man. Somebody broke in his home in Florida, and he was home, dealing with the illness. And somebody broke into his house and tried to rob him. He was there, you know what I mean? He did what he had to do as a man should. And he got hit in his leg. And he bled out and lost his life, man. So, it hit the city hard. We still miss this brother. We still love this brother. So I just want to say rest in peace to the homie Sean Taylor, who died November 27th, 2007. So I want to say salute to him. Also, our brother Chadwick, man, Chadwick Boseman, we all know that he recently passed away, but his birthday was November 29th. So he just celebrated. If he was here, he would have celebrated his 44th birthday. You know what I mean? So I wanted to give this brother love and just, put that energy out there, that he was a good one, man. He put out a great body of work, and he's going to be missed. You know what I mean? And I remember reading somewhere where it spoke to or alluded to the fact that, his wife, may have even been pregnant at the time of his death. So I'm not really sure how serious that was. I don't know if that was just a clickbait piece. But if it was true, or if it is true, I think that's great news, man, just to have, some of that brother's energy around. So I don't know if it's true or not, but I just wanted to pay homage to this brother and just to say, happy 44th birthday to our brother, Chadwick Boseman. Also, this time of year, man, is special for me. It's sentimental for me because around this time of year, 10 years ago, my wife and I, we built and closed on our second home. You know what I mean? So this is, it's a very special time of year. I remember in 2010, Thanksgiving week, we closed on our house, on our second home. And I remember, all the fun we had just being in the crib. I think our first Thanksgiving, we were here with no furniture. You know what I mean? We just would, had boxes everywhere. I think we probably got some carry out or something like that. I don't really remember, but I just know we were in here having fun, running around, doing what lovers do in our brand new house with boxes everywhere and no furniture. So this time of year represents, we celebrate the anniversary of when we closed on our second home. So our baby, man, our house is 10 years old now. You know what I mean? It's the only home our kids have ever known, have ever called home. So I mean, it was a big step, man. Renting out our first house, moving into this house, having it built, creating something, manifesting something that, we drove by before there was nothing there, just dirt, and just to, see something in your mind and put it to fruition and build on top of that. and and just close on something beautiful like this, man. So this time of year I always celebrate it, man. It's a great accomplishment for me and my household. So this past weekend also was the Mike Tyson and Roy Jones fight, man. You know what I mean? I did watch it. I did rent it on pay-per-view. I thought it was very entertaining. You know what I mean? Anybody who knows me personally knows that I love Mike Tyson. Mike is my favorite fighter of all time. You know what I mean? I love this brother. You know what I mean? He really can't do any wrong in my eyes, man. I followed his career since I was a kid. You know what I mean? I remember his first loss in 1989 in Tokyo, Japan. He got knocked out by Buster Douglas. I was 8 years old, almost 9 years old, and I cried like a baby, man. I remember that. You know what I mean? Mike has always been, one of my favorite people and my favorite boxer of all time. So it was good to see him in the ring. You know what I mean? He was in incredible shape. He lost over 100 pounds to get in shape for the fight. He looked great. You know what I mean? He fought naturally at 220 pounds, so he got back to his fight weight. It was good to see Roy in there moving around, man. It was very entertaining. So I enjoyed it. I think that, I think it's going to start a trend, honestly. I think a lot of, retired Hall of Fame fighters are going to, guys who are still itching to be in the ring and still, want to move around and punch and do their thing. I think it's going to open up the door for them to kind of come in and do their thing too. You know what I mean? I think a lot of, Holyfield already said he wants to do it. You know what I mean? So I know, so it's going to start a trend. So I was very entertained by the fight. Mike looked great. You know what I mean? His punches still hurt, as Roy alluded to, you know what I mean? And my man, Nate, man, my man, Nate Robinson, man, look, the night of the fight, I mean, I let Nate have it. Everybody did. I mean, he got knocked out. He looked horrible in the ring, you know what I mean? But just, after thinking about it for a few days, man, I got to give that brother his respect. You know what I mean? Boxing is obviously not his sport. He's a basketball player. And he stepped in the ring and, he did what he did what he thought he had to do. You know what I mean? And he lost. He came up short. But, that's just something that we need to learn from, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, stay in your lane. You know what I mean? If you're not a fighter, don't try to fight, man. That sweet science is real. You know what I mean? Don't think just because you're fast and you're in shape that you can step in the ring with somebody and throw your hands, man. It's a very, it's a very intellectual sport. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get yourself hurt, as my man Nate Robinson found out. So, but again, I think overall the pay-per-view was great. Snoop was great. They had a lot of rappers come through and perform. Snoop performed, French Montana, you know what I mean? Wiz Khalifa, a few other cats. I think Lil Wayne was supposed to perform, but he didn't get on his flight like he was supposed to. You know what I mean? So, but it is what it is. But it was a great situation, man. It was very entertaining, I thought. You know what I mean? And I can see other brothers, other fighters, you know what I mean, stepping in there and trying to do their thing. You know what I mean? I can really see that. So yeah. So I want to talk about two more things, and then we're gonna get into our topic. So I saw a picture on YouTube. It's a HBCU page, on Facebook, and so there was this young lady, you know what I mean, who's white, and she pledged Delta, you know what I mean, and so I saw the post. And it was just going crazy. You know what I mean? Like, here's the post right here, had thousands of likes, you know what I mean? Thousands of likes, hearts, all of that good stuff, comments, thousands of shares and all of that. And, because this young lady, she's graduated from an HBCU and she pledged Delta, you know what I mean? Which is nothing new. If you understand history, you know that non-Black people, white women have pledged Delta for a long time. I think the first white woman to pledge Delta did so in 1963 or 64, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been going on for a long time. But, I kind of commented on this because I saw people going crazy and, all the likes and subscribes. And then the day before that, this sister right here, she did her thing too. She's also a Delta. She graduated from an HBCU, you know what I mean, doing her thing, doing great things. And there wasn't a lot of love there, you know what I mean? And I just think it speaks to and it alludes to a lot of things, man. You know what I mean? That it's not necessarily the fact that, we allow other groups to kind of come into our circles and to come into things that we've built for ourselves, so to speak. But it's not that, but it's the way that we respond to it. You know what I mean? When somebody gets invited to the cookout, you know, we go crazy and we go berserk. You know what I mean? And we overlook our own, and we don't give our own the shine and the highlights that they deserve. You know what I mean? Because we're trying to entertain, you know, someone else from another group. So I just thought that was kind of suspect, and I spoke on it. You know what I mean? I commented, and I put a post up on it on Facebook, and people, you know, were kind of chiming in, talking about it and things like that. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But I just wanted to speak on that as well. And right now, the biggest topic right now, the most trending topic I've seen, is the incident that happened in Dallas, Texas. So I'm not going to, you know, speak on that long. I know there are a lot of brothers out there who've done content on it already. I know my man Gabe did a show last night, Ultimate Black Man Radio. He did a show, you know, talking about that incident. My man LAR did a show on it. And today, I think my man Chris dropped a video, a brief video about the situation. And I saw, you know, the OG Dennis Sperling dropped the video as well today in reference to this topic. But, you know, for those of you who don't know, there's a brother, you know, in Dallas, Texas. Shout out to Dallas. It's a great city. I've been there before. My wife and I, you know, we do a road game every year to see the Washington football team. You know, we go on the road and see them play on the road. You know, we want to see them play in every stadium in the league. So, you know, one of the stadiums that we went to was Dallas, you know, and Dallas is a great city. You know, the stadium is great. You know, the food was great. You know what I mean? Shout out to Papa Do's. You know, it's a lot of history there. You know, the city will forever be infamous for being the place that, you know, President Kennedy was assassinated. If you guys remember back in the day, you know, with the, you know, the infamous Erykah Badu video where she was walking around butt naked and, you know, and all that. She was in her hometown of Dallas, Texas. She was doing it there. And the spot where she actually fell at, you know, at the end of the video, there was an X on the ground, if you remember. And that X symbolizes the exact spot where President John F. Kennedy was shot, you know, allegedly from the school book depository building down there in Dallas. So, so this brother, you know, owns a restaurant, you know what I mean? A restaurant in Dallas, an upscale restaurant. I'm not talking about, you know, your typical Friendlies or your typical Fridays or Ruby Tuesdays or restaurants on that level. But this brother, you know, he built and you know, and established this upscale Black-owned restaurant. And so he had some music playing. He had some DJs there, I think, a DJ there, and this brother was playing music. And I guess it was, you know, upbeat, hip hop, whatever. And so these young ladies decided to, there were a few young ladies in the dining hall, in the dining area, and they decided just to go for it. You know what I mean? They decided just to start twerking and you know, and clapping cheeks and all of that. And the brother, you know, who owns the spot, you know, he asked them on more than one occasion to stop. You know what I mean? He didn't think it was unbecoming of a woman. He didn't want that, you know, going on in his establishment. And so, you know, he asked them on more than one occasion to stop. And then it just got to a point where he just, you know, he said, look, you know what I mean? He stepped to him and he said a few things. And I'm going to play that video right now. It's only about a minute long. I'm not going to play the video where the young ladies were actually twerking. I mean, we've all seen what twerking looks like. You know what I mean? If you haven't, you know what I mean? I understand it's COVID. You know, a lot of the shake joints is not open right now. You know what I mean? Shout out to Stadium here in DC. But we've all seen what twerking looks like. So I'm not going to play that part I'm not going to play that part, but I am going to play the part where the brother stepped to these, you know, young ladies in the dining area and spoke to them and told them how he felt. So I'm going to play that for y'all. It's about a minute long. And then I'm going to give, you know, a few, I'm going to give my opinion on what happened and what this brother did. So y'all bear with me for 1 second. All right, here we go. Y'all check it out.
I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept so Black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves as a, come on, stop the music, please. Somewhere where our people can feel good about ourselves as a culture, okay? Yeah. No, real talk. And so all this twerking, taking the Prime, take it to Pink. Don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And so beyond that, 75% of my customers are ladies. And I'm on men to show respect for themselves for how they carry themselves here. So how can I tell the men to respect themselves and you guys are twerking on glass here? If you want to do it, get the my restaurant, because I did it for our people and I did it for our culture. So don't do it now. Don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out, because I don't need your money. I need to provide something for my people. And don't do it again. Thank you.
All right, before I break it down, let me show love to everybody in the chat. Miss Rivers is here as always. Welcome, MB. I see you, D. My man Phineas is in the building. Kid Gravity was good, was popping. Let me see what else we got up in here. And Jacqueline, as always, welcome. And thank y'all for pulling up. So let me say this, man. I don't have any issues with that brother at all. You know what I mean? I don't have any issues with him setting a standard for his establishment and setting a standard for women. You know what I mean? If you listen to what he said, look, you know what I mean? The majority of my clients are women. The majority of people who come in here and have brunch are women. And I want women to feel respected. You know what I mean? I want women to be respected. And and because I want women to be respected, I can't co-sign women. I can't co-sign women in my establishment twerking like that. And honestly, you know what I mean? I think a brother, if that brother, even if it wasn't his restaurant, like let's say he was out at another spot, let's say he didn't own a restaurant, he was out somewhere, you know what I mean? He probably would have felt inclined to pull one of those sisters to the side and say something like that. You know what I mean? Or comment on it or speak on it. You know what I mean? I don't have any issues with this brother. You know what I mean? I think that men need to set a standard. I think that he set a standard, and if those women didn't like it, they could leave. You know what I mean? And he set a standard so much so that he didn't even care if he got the money. He said, look, I don't even want your money right now. You know what I mean? The quality of my establishment is more valuable to me than your money. You understand what I'm saying? And I salute that brother, man. Listen, I'm not a very religious person. I'm not, you know what I mean? But I grew up in that, and I know a few things about it. Here's what I know. I know somewhere in that book, it says that there's a time and a place for everything under the sun. You know what I mean? There's a time to twerk. You know what I mean? There's a time for that. There's a time to let them cheeks clap. You know what I mean? All of that. You know what I'm saying? There's a time and place for it. And so the time and place was not at this establishment, clearly. You know what I mean? This brother didn't want that up in his spot. You know what I mean? What's going on? I got some family here. Cat, what's going on? Long time. So yeah, so I understand, because a lot of people who had issues with it, who had issues with what the brother did, was like, look, you know what I mean? You in here playing this rap music, you in here playing, you know what I mean, this trap music, everybody's cussing, you know, women are all kind of bees and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, if you want to set that bar high for real, you know, you don't even bring any of that energy into your establishment. And I hear you on that. And I respect that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, the way he, like, as far as him cussing at them and saying they could get the F out and all of that, you know, he didn't really have to do that either. But as far as him saying, look, I don't want this type of behavior in my establishment, I feel him on that. You know what I mean? I do. Straight up and down. You know what I mean? When we go to other places, we don't act like that. You know what I'm saying? We understand, like, if he's trying to build something, he's trying to build a legacy for himself. You know what I mean? Whatever music is playing in there, I mean, he could start playing some jazz or whatever. He could start playing some classical music or whatever. He could do that. But this brother's trying to build a legacy for himself. He's trying to build something to pass down to his children. You know what I mean? He's trying to build a legacy. We, as Black people already, we don't really have a lot as it relates to businesses. Of all the groups in this country, we own the least amount of businesses out of all the groups in this country. White, Asian, Hispanic, all of them. We own the least amount of businesses. So this brother created this business, and he wants it to be a staple. He wants it to be something that's valuable, that's important. Like, you know, when you go to Harlem, shout out to Harlem. When you go to Harlem, New York, you have to go to Sylvia's. You know what I mean? Sylvia's has been in operation forever. You know what I mean? Everybody knows the standard. Celebrities have been in there. All of that. Sasha, I see you. Everybody's been in there. Hold on. Who else is up in here? Janice, I see you too. All of the, you know, he wants a staple. You come to DC, you got to go to certain places. Like I know it's like a carry out, but you want your spot to be a staple, like Ben's Chili Bowl. You know what I mean? Like Georgia Browns when you come to DC, like Milk and Honey. You know what I mean? You want your spot to be official. He wants his spot to be official. You know what I mean? You come to DC, you don't go to Old Ebbitt Grill or Clyde's or the W or Maestro's. You don't go up in there and act like that. I've been to some hot brunches. You know what I mean? In DC. You know what I mean? I've been to some hot brunches and they play music too. They played a little rap. It got a little edgy with the music, but people knew how to move. People knew how to operate. You know what I mean? He wants his spot to be a staple. He wants his spot to be a place that when you go to Dallas, you got to go there. You know what I mean? Before I got off the plane, when I went to Dallas, my wife and I, we knew we had to go to Papa Do's. You know what I mean? That's where you got to go to Papa Do's. He wants his spot to be that. So I understand this brother saying, look, man, I need a certain type of energy in my place. You know what I mean? And we just have to know where we are and act accordingly. You know what I mean? We can't do that everywhere, man. You know what I mean? I've seen it, and it's not even this brother's restaurant. I've seen videos where cats is twerking in church. You know what I'm saying? All of that, man. You know what I mean? There's a time and place for everything under the sun. And for the way that this brother's trying to run his establishment, the time and the place to twerk is not up in his spot, period. You know what I mean? So I understand where that brother came from. I respect him. You know what I mean? And honestly, straight up and down, next time I go to Dallas, me and wifey up in there. You know what I mean? I'm going to go to this spot, man. You know what I'm saying? GIC, Ultimate Black Man Radio was popping. Next time I go to Dallas, I'm up in there, man. I'm up in that man's spot. He going to get a nice little tip, at least like at the minimum, like 40%. You know what I mean? For one, we have to support our own businesses off the rip. You know what I mean? Number two, I commend the brother for taking the stand, man. It's like we can't play all the time. You know what I mean? We just can't. And then we go in other establishments, and this brother is, you know, if you go in other places and act like that, you liable to get thrown out. We've all seen these videos of us going into these beauty supply stores and getting our head combed back and getting thrown up out of there, getting hands put up on us and all that. You know what I'm saying? We've seen that, man. You know what I mean? So I want to say, look, man, you know, I know it was a tough thing, you know, for the brother to deal with. He asked him on multiple occasions to stop, you know, according to what I've seen and heard, and they didn't do it. So he had to cut the music off and he had to come from behind that piano and spit at him and say something, man. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. But I don't want to go on and on about that because I know, like I said, there are a lot of brothers out here who's touched on him. Gabe is in the building. I see you, Don. What up? Gabe is in the building. He did a great video last night on it. Y'all check that out over Ultimate Black Man Radio. Like I said, LAR did a whole video on it. Dennis Sperling did a video on it today. My man Chris, he did a video on it as well. And I know a lot of people have touched on it on their social media outlets and pages and all of that. So I didn't really want to go into it too heavy, but I did want to touch on it, man, because it's a trending topic right now. It's popping, and I wouldn't be doing my job as a content creator if I didn't, you know, address some stuff that's going on right now. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But so tonight, man, you know, we're gonna talk about incels, man. And I just want to break down the incel. I want to break down the anatomy, the mindset, the mentality of an incel. You know what I mean? When I first got into, you know, I wasn't always like real big on social media like that. And then, you know, the more I got into it and the more I started posting and commenting and stuff like that, you know, a lot of people started, you know, adding me into these groups and showing love and pulling up on me and all that. And so I started seeing these, you know, I started moving in certain spaces on YouTube and watching, you know, brothers do their thing, their content. And I started, you know, listening to a few manosphere brothers and things like that. And I started hearing these terms, you know what I mean? Again, shout out to Gabe, you know, shout out to the young homie Vernon, and shout out to my man Bello. And, you know, we've had conversations about this before offline, but I started hearing all these terms, man, about, you know, these groups and these subgroups, and I started hearing about incels, and I started hearing about, MGTOW and red pill and black pill and all of that. So I started really looking into it, man, especially the incels, man. So I started really looking into these brothers, man, and their story is very sad. You know what I mean? But I'm just going to speak on them tonight. I'm going to let y'all know, for those who don't know, I'm going to let y'all know exactly what an incel is. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell y'all exactly what an incel is. I'm going to talk about, their level of danger, how dangerous they are, how dangerous they can be, you know what I mean? In certain situations. We're going to talk about, what causes somebody to be an incel. You know what I mean? How do people become an incel? We're going to talk about reasons why they don't get better. You know what I mean? What they don't understand about women, what they don't understand about themselves. We're going to get into it tonight a little bit, man. So y'all bear with me. Y'all give me a little bit of time, so I can cook. But incels, man, for the most part, right? Incels are men. These are heterosexual men who blame women and society for their lack of romantic success. When you break down the word incel is short for involuntarily celibate. You know what I mean? It means that they're involuntarily celibate. Their ideology is rooted and grounded in the belief that women have too much power. That women have too much power as it relates to relationships. And they ruin these type of men because they reject them. So basically, these incels are men who don't really get sex, who don't have sex, who don't have great interactions and relationships with women. You know what I mean? And they blame that on the fact that women have rights. You know what I'm saying? Like, women have the option to choose who they want and what they want. So because women have options now, they're not choosing them. And because they're not choosing them, they're not in a relationship. They're not having sex. They're not fulfilling their, whatever they need to fulfill in their mind as men. They're not able to do it because now that women have choices, women aren't choosing them. They believe that historically that men dominated the dating scene, that this current sexual marketplace gives women too much freedom and gives them too much freedom and too much power to choose their own partners. So those partners tend not to be incels. They tend to choose brothers who they think are more desirable, who are more select, so to speak. And because they do that, they deprive them of their sexual birthright, of their sexual, of their ability to go out here and have sex and release. You know what I mean? Straight up and down. And so some of these incels are so heavy into it, they're so deep into it, that they believe that women who deny them sex are committing reverse rape. You know what I'm saying? These brothers think that they're actually being raped, like a reverse rape, because they're not able to have the sex that they want with the women that they want. You know what I mean? They feel that because women have a choice now, like they believe historically, let me see. I see you finished. Thanks for the super chat. These brothers believe that because women have power now, like women have now let me go back a little bit. So historically, they believe and they comprehend and understand that men dominated the parameters and the dynamics of the dating game historically, that men could be ugly, men could be out of shape, men could be sloppy, whatever you want to call them, undesirable, and they could get dimes because they created the environment. Like, they dominated the environment, they dominated the culture. So they got to pick and choose. Even though they were undesirable, these brothers got to pick and choose the type of women that they wanted. And so now that women have rights, now that women don't necessarily have to, can do their own thing and pick who they want to pick, they're not picking them anymore. See, historically, a lot of women got married because their family would pair them up with somebody, or, this man would have, a certain level of money or a certain level of prominence in the community, and he would have his ability to choose. You know what I mean? But now things have changed. And so these brothers feel like you know, it's reverse rape. You know what I mean? Like they can't release, they can't get a woman. They're involuntarily celibate. They can't have sex, and it's not their fault. It's because women aren't choosing them, and because women control the dating market, they're not choosing them, and they don't like it. Straight up and down. That's just what they believe. Now, the term incel came about in the early 90s, around 1993, and it came about from a woman. It came about from a Canadian woman, who labeled herself an incel because she was single. You know what I mean? Because she was having issues in her dating life. Finding a suitable mate. To her liking, and so she coined herself an incel. She called herself an incel, and so later on over time, this movement and this name, it became something that it wasn't intended to be. And so now, today, nearly all incels are men. And to be quite honest with you, the majority of them are white. So I'm not going to sit here and say this whole incel movement is a black thing, or it started in the black manosphere, or, black brothers created this. No, you know what I mean? The incel movement is predominantly white. And like we do a lot of times, we take something that doesn't belong to us and we try to, form and fashion our own selves after that. You know what I mean? We just blackwashed it. You know what I mean? It didn't belong to us. It wasn't our problem. You know what I mean? It was not. The majority of incels in this country are white. I mean, I can't say that any other way. But, and so a lot of these brothers, man, they're on social media, they're on these on the dark web and all of that. And they're, a lot of them are on YouTube, and they're on these dark web websites, and they're just spewing this, this nonsense, man. And you have women over there too. You actually have women over there listening to this stuff. And it's going, and I'm gonna break it down later on, because, there are a lot of women in these spaces too. And they feel like if they go over there and they co-sign this, and they co-sign these brothers, who are incels and who talk reckless like this, that they'll get some shine. You know what I mean? That they'll get some love from these types. And they don't. These brothers just verbally and emotionally, masturbate in their face. You know what I'm saying? They use them, but there are a lot of women in these groups too, who kind of somehow and somewhat co-sign this behavior. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, women, they believe that women will always revert, now in this day and time, that women will always revert to hypergamy, using sexual and romantic partnerships to elevate their own status. You know what I mean? What this means to an incel is that 80% of the women that he wants to date are only going to date the top 20% of the men out here. You know what I mean? And so those top 20% are the men who are the best looking, have the most money, whatever. And that's leaving the remaining 80% of men, which is including incels, or primarily made up of incels, without a potential partner. So that's what they believe. They believe in this market, in this day and time, with women having all these freedoms and being able to choose and do what they want and sleep with whoever they want, that all of these women are going to go for the top 20%. That's what they're going to do. They're going to go. And so if you got 10 men in a room, the women are all going to flock to the top 2 men, the 2 men who are the most attractive and who have the most bread. You know what I mean? So the other 8 men are going to go home with a full sack. You know what I mean? That's according to an incel. That's what an incel thinks. And so he's thinking that, he's going home to a full sack every night, because there's no space that he can be in because of how he feels about himself, his looks, his entire energy. He feels that every room he's going to be in his life, he's always going to be in that 80% of men who don't get chose up on. You know what I mean? Straight up and down. So how dangerous are these cats? Most of them are not dangerous at all. Most of them are not going to do anything but run their mouth on YouTube or their Facebook private groups that are designed just for incels, for them and other brothers like them. That's most of them. You know what I mean? Most of them hide in the shadows. But this group of brothers can be very dangerous, man. Whether y'all know it or not, incels are investigated and documented with the Anti-Defamation League. I mean, excuse me, with the Southern Poverty Law Center. Okay, some other groups that are on the radar for the Southern Poverty Law Center are the Ku Klux Klan. You know what I mean? Are terrorist groups. Why is that? You know what I mean? Why is the Southern Poverty Law Center looking into incels? Why do they have them on their radar? Because some of these brothers are dangerous. There have been a few of them, and the ones I'm going to talk about are not black, but there have been a few of them who have murdered people, man, who have gone on killing sprees. It happened in California. It's happened overseas and in Europe. You know, these brothers have just gotten in a car, ran over to a school, a public place, and just started dumping. And the reason why they found out that these individuals were incels was because they left letters, they left manifestos. They posted on their social media accounts talking about, I did this because I'm going to make women pay. You know what I mean? I'm going to make women and Chads is what they call them. Chads is what is slang for them for what they call desirable men. Those are the select men. You know what I mean? Those are the Phineases and the Dons and the Chris's of the world and the G's of the world. You know what I mean? They call y'all Chads because y'all are the desirable cats. You know what I'm saying? So they ran up in these public places and just started dumping, just started shooting people, killing people over women, over a lack of sex. You know what I mean? Facts, D. Facts, Don. Word up. The Columbine shooters were incels. You know what I mean? A lot of them. Mark Lepine shot 14 women in 1989 in Montreal, Canada. Elliot Rodger killed 6 people in a rampage in California. Armando Hernandez drove up on some people with an AR-15 with a 30-round magazine clip and shot at people, killed people. You know what I mean? Chantel, I see you. And all over a lack of cheeks. You know what I mean? These brothers, man, they're very dangerous. They can be dangerous. And even the ones who aren't killers, even the ones who don't have the heart or don't have the mindset to be a killer, a lot of them harass cats, you know what I mean, on Facebook, you know, on your social media accounts. When you get in these spaces and places and you talk about, you know, being masculine and you talk about feminine women and how to do certain things and how to move and operate, you know, within a relationship, you know, these brothers hound cats, man. They create fake pages and troll. You know what I mean? I seen cats, you know, who are in movements like that, you know, who've done hit pieces on people, you know, did a video on my man Gabe, you know what I mean? Just outing people, you know what I mean? Or in their mind attempting to out people. So even the ones that aren't necessarily going to pull up on your doorstep and start dumping, you know, they'll harass you. You know what I mean? They'll get in your social media, you know, accounts and troll you all day. They'll get up in your chats, you know what I mean, on your YouTube lives and try to cause havoc. You know what I mean? All of that. So they can be a nuisance, and they are a nuisance all the way around for the most part, straight up and down. What causes someone to be an incel? The main reason, in my opinion, why, you know, what are reasons why, you know, young men can become incels is basically at the end of the day, they just don't know how to move around women. You know what I mean? And they get rejected a lot from women. A lot of these brothers don't even get rejected because they don't even have the confidence to step to a female. You know what I mean? A lot of them don't have the heart to just walk up to a female they like and put their bid in. And then some of them will do that, will put their bid in with the young lady and then can't take the rejection. And let me tell y'all incels something, man. You know, for y'all, for the ones of y'all who don't know, there's not a man around who hasn't been rejected. I know y'all look at these Chads is what y'all call them, and y'all think these dudes is just running around getting all these chicks. That's not a man alive on this planet who hasn't been rejected at some point. Every woman that we've wanted, we didn't sleep with. We didn't date. You know what I mean? We didn't get the number. Michael Jordan misses shots. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather gets punched in the face sometime. You know what I'm saying? Every brother out here, even the brothers with money. I know y'all see these cats on TV, these rappers. I know y'all see Future. Every time you turn around, he got a new female, she fresh out or whatever. Let me tell you something. You only see the ones he actually got. You don't think these cats is out here putting bids in with females and everyone they go for, they get? No, that's not true. I don't care who the guy is. I don't care who he is. So every time we step out there and try to approach a female, we're not going to get the desired result. That's nobody. That's even for you incel cats. That's even for guys that y'all think are select. You know what I mean? None of us batted 1,000. Straight up. Like we took some L's too. I felt like I was fly back in the day. I felt like I was cool, whatever. I felt like, you know, I could pull up on somebody and get something. Every time I did that, I didn't get a win. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. Some of the ones that I thought I knew I was going to bag, I didn't get a win. You know what I'm saying? And some of the ones I thought, yo, I don't think, you know what I mean? I don't even think she's checking for a cat like me. I got that. You know what I mean? You have to be confident in yourself and be willing to step out there, man. A lot of these brothers hurt themselves before they even start because they go into it with the mindset that this woman will never go for somebody like me. You know what I mean? Look at me. I'm a gamer. I'm 5'5". You know what I'm saying? I'm you know, I work at the post office. You know what I mean? I drive dump trucks for a living. They automatically, you know, take themselves out of the game mentally, psychologically. You know what I'm saying? Before they even start. And so as a man, it is imperative for you. I see you, Chocolate. What's going on? It's imperative for you to have confidence. You have to have confidence, bro. I've seen, look, we have all seen dudes out here, you know what I mean, who we looked at and we were like, yo, how in God's name did he bag her, yo? Like, how did this man get a woman like that? We've all seen it. We've all said it, you know, on some level, on some degree. You looked at a dude. Let me tell y'all incel something, man. I don't care what you look like. Everybody is select to somebody. Everybody, I'm going to say it again. Everybody is a select dude to somebody. Your problem is a lot of times y'all cats will date out of your league. And you want the Instagram model. You want the same chick that everybody trying to get in the club or trying to get up in the juice bar or the lounge or wherever y'all at. You trying to get her. You understand what I'm saying? And I guarantee y'all brothers this. Let me tell y'all something. For all you incels out here who swear up and down y'all can't get with a female and y'all don't have it up in you. There's a woman right now who's watching y'all, who actually likes y'all. She does. She actually likes you. She likes the fact that, you know, you wear thong sandals with jeans. She thinks it's cute. She likes the fact that, you know, you wear jeans from Walmart or whatever it is in your mind that you think is that makes you undesirable. There's a woman, Miss Witt, I see you. There's a woman out here who's watching you, who actually likes you, even though you think you lame, and you might be lame, but there's a woman out here who actually thinks your lameness is cute. And the problem is you just don't want that woman. She's watching you. She's watching you go for all these women that you know up out of your league, that you know you're not really built for. She's watching you get, you know, step to these women and get shut down, or she's watching you be, you know, lack confidence in order to go out here and get what you want. And she's watching you, man. You know what I'm saying? And she actually likes you. She actually likes the fact that you play games all day. She likes the fact that you in the Forex and Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Things that the average woman or the average person doesn't comprehend or doesn't understand. She actually likes the fact that you cosplay. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man. But you don't like her. You're not looking at her. You're not checking for her. You're checking for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem, man. Everybody is desirable to somebody. If you go on Facebook, for all you brothers that are out of shape, for all you brothers that feel like I can't get a dime or I can't get a baddie because I'm fat, because I'm like 280 pounds, I'm 300 pounds, whatever. I want y'all to do this. I want y'all to go on YouTube. For all you brothers who going to hear this, I want y'all to go on YouTube and just type women who love big dudes. Straight up and down. There are a plethora. There are private groups and public groups all over Facebook designed and created by women who just love big dudes, who just love Ruben Studdards, who love Carl Winslows. You know what I mean? There are women out here who love cats like that. And if you go up in them groups, you'll see some of them women in there ain't, like they're very attractive. Like I said before, we've all seen it, man. We've all seen dudes that, at first glance, you might look at them and say, yo, I don't know about him. Like he kind of sloppy with his weight, or, you know what I mean? He don't really, his clothes don't hang right. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And, but you see him with his female come out the bathroom and she looked like Sanaa Lathan or something. She looked like Megan Good or something. You like, yo, how in the world did this brother pull a guy like that? I mean, a female like that. I'm going to tell you how. You're not going to believe it, but I'm going to tell you the truth. She likes that dude because he's confident and he has a personality on him. You know what I mean? And a mouthpiece. And that got her. He bagged her with, you know what I mean? And on top of the fact that she probably like some of these women out here like dudes with a little weight on them. They like teddy bears, man. Teddy bears are in. You know what I'm saying? Teddy bears been in since Gerald Levert. You know what I'm saying? Luther Vandross, man. You know what I mean? You can get it out here. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, man, I love you, homie, too much to tell y'all a lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to tell you the truth. And I could ride on y'all. I could be disrespectful and just throw things in your face, but I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to help you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, a lot of these cats, they've been rejected over and over from women. A lot of times it didn't just happen in relationships. A lot of times these brothers have been rejected in their households. You know what I mean? A lot of times these brothers have been rejected by their mother. Their grandmother didn't show them love. I see you, Bailey. What's going on? A lot of these brothers didn't get a lot of love from their moms, from their grandmother. You know what I mean? Their sister, their auntie, whatever. Some of them, have mental, emotional, psychological issues as it relates to women. And they never got their healing. They never did that shadow work, you know what I mean? Or that soul work to step away from that trauma, man, and move on. They never did that. And so all of that frustration, it's all in their head. It's psychological. It's emotional. You know what I mean? And then it keeps them from being able to step to women. It keeps them from being able to confidently approach a woman and put his bid in. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. And another reason why is I see you, Nat. I see you, Natalie. Another reason why these brothers fail, man, and they become incels is because they don't understand that, like, we as men, we all have flaws, fellas, incels. I'm talking to y'all. Every man has a flaw. You know what I mean? Or in his mind, he has a flaw. Every man has, if he's honest, when he looks in the mirror, when he's solo, he's by himself, nobody's around. There's something about every man that they want to improve on. You know what I mean? They want to improve on something. Maybe I want to tone up, or maybe I don't feel like I'm intellectual enough, or maybe I don't feel like I've traveled enough, or maybe I don't feel like, I'm whatever it is. Every man has a flaw. Okay. The difference is that incels don't, instead of them trying to make peace with their flaws or try to find someone who accepts them despite their flaws, they believe that their flaws make them inherently unworthy of love. They believe that because they have such and such flaw, they're short, or they have acne, or whatever it is, whatever flaw they have, they feel like because they have this flaw, they are inherently unworthy of love, and that any affection that they get despite having these flaws is shallow, and it comes from somebody who has ulterior motives. So even when these brothers get into relationships, because they want to, they want to have sex, they want to be in relationships, they want that connection, that bond with the woman. So even when these brothers get lucky enough or get fortunate enough to find a female that accepts his bid, when she does something for him, when she dresses sexy for him, or when she wants to do certain things with him sexually, or whatever it is, whatever type of gesture that she gives this brother to show him that she's into him, he won't accept it, because in his mind he feels like because he has these certain flaws, he's not worthy of love. So whatever love she gives him is fake. Whatever love she gives him, it's because she wants something from him. She wants some money. She wants some of his, his 401k, his TSP, whatever. These are things that he says in his mind. And you hear a lot of these brothers in these social media spaces, man, they talk about that. All these women want is this. All these women want is money and attention and all of that. And I get it to a certain degree. That is true. There are women like that. You know what I'm saying? But every woman that's going to come into contact with you is not like that. Every woman that actually accepts your bid and caters to you a little bit is not trying to undercut you. She don't have ulterior motives. All of these things at the end of the day, man, are psychological. You know what I'm saying? You can move incels. You can move despite your flaw. Absolutely, Sasha. If you're a lady, you don't want to be around cats like that, because they need to do certain things first. And a lot of them don't really want nothing real. They just want the sex anyway. I'm just keeping it a buck. They just want the sex. So a lot of these cats, and a lot of them will turn on their own selves and will start swirling. They'll think that's the answer. They'll just say, nah, it's black women. You know what I mean? And they'll, because a few black chicks heard them and all of that. And they'll say, look, you know what? It's black women that's the problem. Let me tell you something too, black incel. The people who created this incel movement, who are white, they don't pinpoint one group of women. The majority white incel group doesn't just go at white women. They go at women, period. They have a problem with women, period. A lot of times it's the brothers who are incels, the black incels. They point all of their emphasis and they put all of their energy on black women because they think black women are the problem. That all these black women want these rappers, and all these black women want these undesirable men, these Pookies and Walmart Terriers and stuff like that. And so they've convinced themselves that, hey, look, I'm gonna go over here. Okay, I'm gonna go overseas now. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go to Brazil. I'm gonna go to Eastern Europe. I'm gonna go to Asia and I'm gonna bag me one. Let me tell y'all something, man. For the cats who think like that, women are women. If look, when you go over there and you get you one, you better keep her over there. You better keep her in Thailand or wherever you at, in the Philippines, where you better keep her over there. Because if you think she gonna be the same when she come over here, you bugging. Some dude is gonna peel that chick. He gonna peel her right off your arm. You know what I'm saying? If you can't make it over here, you ain't gonna be able to make it nowhere. You know what I'm saying? The dating game in America is like living in New York. They tell you if you live in New York, if you make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. If you can make it on the south side of Chicago, you can make it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? If you can make it in DC, you can make it anywhere. If you can survive DC with Wayne Perry and Teflon Sean and all these cats, if you can survive that, you can make it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? As soon as she get over here, she getting turned out. And I get it, fellas. Look, man, I travel a lot, man. I've been a lot of places. I know black men, we get a lot of love in Europe. We get a lot of love in Germany. Shout out to Germany. Shout out to Munich. Shout out to Berlin. We get a lot of love in Germany. We get a lot of love in Europe. Get a lot of love in Asia. No doubt about it. I'm not going to lie to you. We do. But you're rare over there. You are exotic over there. You bring her back here, you ain't exotic no more. It's a brother everywhere. Especially if you live in you know, a metropolitan city. You know what I mean? It's a brother everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And them overseas women, like Sasha said, they want their money too. They want something. You're not going over there, you know, broke or not having your paper. Just to get over there, you got to have a certain degree of paper. Some of y'all talking about going overseas, you ain't never left your city. You know what I mean? You ain't never been on a plane before. You know what I'm saying? You live on the East Coast. You never went to Bike Week. And you talking about, you know, flying to Germany somewhere and bagging you something, or flying to South Korea and bagging you something and bringing her back, or South America somewhere. You can't run from yourself, fellas. Incels, y'all can't run. You could put as many stamps on your passport as you want. You can go through all the custom spots you want. You can do that. You can't run from this work. You know what I'm saying? You can't run from yourself. That's really all you're doing. You're running from yourself. You know what I mean? Because if you go over there, you may get a little better play over there. But when you come back home, you got to compete. She gonna see all these cats, man. She gonna see all these black dudes running around with muscles, you know, stepping out of, you know, BMWs with, you know, with making good money and all of that. You know what I'm saying? They gonna see that, and you ain't gonna look as fly. You're not gonna look as exotic. But these brothers, man, we all have flaws, fellas. Incels, every man has a flaw. No man is perfect. The problem is, y'all don't want to accept your flaw, and you don't want to improve on your flaw. You automatically tell yourself that because you have this flaw, you'll never get a woman. So like I said, you price yourself out of the game before it even starts. You don't even give yourself a chance. Every man has a flaw. Every man looks in the mirror and says, you know what? I can improve on that. I can step up, you know, in this area in my life. I can step up on that. I could be better at that. It may not even be anything physical. It could be psychological. It could be emotional. It could be intellectual. But we all have things that we can improve on. We all have flaws, man. We all have them. So stop, you know, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? You got to believe in yourself, bro. I can't really say it I can't say any better than that. You got to believe in yourself, man. Why don't incels get better? Incels don't get better. Brothers who qualify themselves as being involuntarily celibate, these brothers don't get better because they don't improve on themselves. They don't want to improve. They feel more comfortable being in groups of men who share the same sentiment and who ride on women all day. So they don't want to improve. They want to complain. They want to mope. They want to cause havoc. They want to be a nuisance. They want, you know, to get negative attention. So they don't work on their flaws. They don't try to improve. They don't get around brothers that they consider to be, you know, on a higher level than them and try to figure out what they're doing. I'm influenced. Look, I'm 39 years old. I don't hide nothing. This channel is going to always be authentic. It's going to always be transparent. I'm 39 years old. There are brothers that I follow on social media, who I subscribe to on YouTube, who are damn near half my age. And there's certain things about these brothers that I like. You know what I mean? No homo. It's certain things like, yo, I like how he articulates himself. You know what I mean? This brother, every time I see him, he got a video up. He in the gym. You know what I'm saying? He getting weights up. This brother over here, you know, every time I have a conversation with him, or every time I see something he posts, he's talking about a book he just read. You know what I mean? And it's dope. And then I'm, without even communicating with this brother directly, I'm like, okay, boom. He shouted out this book. I'm gonna put that in my Amazon queue. You know what I mean? He does this type of exercise, so I'm gonna incorporate that in my regimen. You know what I mean? He switched his diet up a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try some little vegan stuff. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to, alkaline my water up because this brother said he does it and it helps him out. It gives him more energy and keeps him flowing, keeps him going. You know what I mean? So I'm consistently learning, and I'm already out the game. You know what I mean? I have a wife, I have children. You know what I mean? I have property, I have investments. You know what I mean? Everybody's on the same page. Everybody's in pocket, and I still understand that I have flaws. I still understand that I have weaknesses. And I still understand that I need to get better, that I can get better. That's the mentality of a real dude, of a real brother, man, of a man. You know what I'm saying? I don't listen to brothers like Flex and Tariq just because I like the way they had their hair braided. You know what I'm saying? I listen to these brothers because they're intellectual, they're intelligent. And every time I'm in their chat, or every time I'm watching something they did or reading a comment they put up, I'm learning something. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna incorporate that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna add a little bit of their seasoning to my dish. It's still my dish. I'm still gonna cook it up a certain way. But if this brother introduced me to a certain type of herb or a certain type of seasoning or whatever, you damn right I'm gonna add it to my entree to enhance it, to make it taste better. You know what I'm saying? To give me something that I never had. These brothers don't understand that. They don't understand that steel sharpens steel out here in these streets, man. Their team is trash. They get around brothers all day and they get up in these spaces and all they do is cry. All they do is complain. These women this and these women that, and they doing this and they doing that. You know what I'm saying? I see how the homie Don get down, man. You know what I'm saying? I see how he in the gym getting weights up. So I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? I gotta peep. I gotta see what's going on. You know what I mean? Because I could do a little something. I can get some weights up too. You know what I mean? I could do a little something. I can surprise wifey one night. She'd be like, oh, I didn't know you had that. Yeah, I ain't know either. You know now, though. You know what I'm saying? I give her a little something extra. You know what I'm saying? That somebody kind of hit me to or whatever. I could do that, man. That's what men do. You know what I'm saying? These brothers don't do that. They cry. They complain. They talk about women all day. They have YouTube channels and 90% of their content is riding on women. You know what I'm saying? 90% of their content is just women this, women that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of you incels, man, y'all got to make sure that y'all do the knowledge on these cats y'all following, man, because a lot of these cats is frauds. They'll get up in y'all face on social media and YouTube, and they'll talk about black women all day. They'll talk about how all these black women is, wear hair hats and they out of shape and they got kids and all of that. And then some of these same cats is laid up right now, snuggled up with one. Snuggled up with a size 18 joint with a kid that don't belong to him. You know what I'm saying? Some of these cats is doing that, man. But they'll come up on YouTube and ride all day on women. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta look, I'm telling y'all, man, don't let these cats fool y'all. I know y'all see, y'all incels, y'all get in these groups, you know what I'm saying? And y'all listening to these cats and y'all like, wow, man, this brother's spitting, man. Yeah, he riding on these females, man. Forget these broads, man. Like that they out of pocket, they wild, they reckless, they renegades. You following them, super chatting and, pulling up on them and buying all their stuff, you know what I'm saying? Buying their little wife beaters they come out with, you know what I'm saying? All that. And then you find out these cats is frauds, man. These cats is in love. They helplessly in love. They at home rubbing feet. They at home lotioning their girl's feet. That's a size 18 with 2 kids that don't belong to them. Straight up. They use y'all, man. These cats use y'all. These cats, incels, these brothers use y'all, man. Michelle, I see you. Did you play some tennis today? Did you get some tennis in? Third World, what's up, man? H-Time, what's up? What's popping? Yeah, man, these cats use y'all, man. Y'all incels, like, y'all are a money grab. These brothers speaking to y'all pain, and they don't care nothing about y'all. They don't give a damn about y'all. You know what I'm saying? They want your money. Facts. And be they in there rubbing cocoa butter on their girlfriend's feet. You know what I'm saying? With 3 kids. And don't none of them belong to them. I'm telling you, man. These cats ride all day on it. Come up here on social media. You know what I'm saying? Riding on sisters all day long. These nappy headed chicks, these hair hat wearing chicks, that. And these cats is going home washing their girl hair, braiding her hair at night. You know what I'm saying? Exfoliating her feet. Lying to y'all, man. They taking y'all super chat money and buying these girls stuff. You know what I'm saying? 500-pound joints. And I ain't knocking nobody. Look, what you'll never hear me do on this channel is I don't create or promote a certain standard of beauty. You know what I'm saying? Because beauty is relative. You know what I'm saying? It's a relative term. You know what I mean? It ain't for me to tell you what type of woman is supposed to get you hard. That's for you to decide for yourself. And if that woman's a size 2 or a size 22, that's your business. I don't care. I don't sleep with her. You know what I'm saying? That's your business. So I'm not out here to tell you, obviously you want people to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? You want people to facts, Sasha. They braiding hair. They greasing scalps. You know what I'm saying? They're putting all kind of oils and all that on the scalp. Straight up. I don't knock nobody, man. I know Gabby Sidibe just got engaged and people were kind of talking about that and all that. I'm like, look, I don't even care nothing about that. Straight up and down. She begged black dudes to get at her. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't. And that's their right. If you're not attracted to Gabby, whatever, that's on you. If she don't do it for you, she don't make you swell up. Hey, I'm not telling you who to be checking for. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But that girl went and found something. And as long as he ain't, on some type of slave fetish type thing, I'm happy for her. You know what I mean? She found something. She found something that she could feel comfortable with. You know what I mean? Straight up. But yeah, man, y'all out here, they're taking y'all super chat money and taking these girls out to eat. And they telling y'all, you know what I'm saying? I go on 50-50 dates. You know what I'm saying? I don't pay for nothing on no date. We doing a coffee date. You know what I'm saying? They telling y'all that on social media. They taking y'all super chat money. They taking that girl to Benny Hanna's and Morton's and Ruth Chris and all that. Taking out with your super chat money, talking about they don't spend no money on no female. They lying to y'all, man. They buying matching toe rings for him and her toe rings, man, with y'all super chat money. That's foul, man. That's not nice. Don't be fooled by these cats, man. I'm telling y'all, don't do it. Don't do it, man. Get up out of these spaces, man. Get up out of these places because they're not going to help you. All they're going to do is speak to your pain. You know what I mean? And most of these guys you listening to, they are not living out what they spitting out. They're not, man. A lot, we live in a capitalistic society right now. You know what I mean? Most of the people out here that come before us that promote stuff, a lot of these cats, you know what I'm saying, is just doing it for the money. There's some real ones out here too, man. I got a team of real cats. You know what I'm saying? I got a team of real cats that I talk to that I'm cool with. You know what I mean? They know who they are. You know what I mean? We talk every day, on WhatsApp and all that. And they real passionate about what they do, man. I mean, they put their heart and soul into it, their life into it, to giving people game. You know what I mean? Facts, man. Matching toe rings, man. Matching anklets with his and her, her name on his anklet and his name on her anklet, man. All that. I'm telling you. Going to the beauty salon, going to the nail shop together, getting his and her mani-pedis, man, with y'all money. Telling y'all that, I don't cupcake with no females like that. They lying. Prove it. If they tell you, they got women in pocket and they ain't putting no money up and they ain't really doing nothing like that, tell them to prove it. They tell everybody else to prove stuff. You tell them to prove it. You tell them to go on a video, you know what I mean? Make a video of them at a restaurant with a female, and who's a straight dime because that's what he said he only rock with joints with us that's a size 2 or size 4. You tell them to put up a video of them at a restaurant with a baddie, and they ordering for her, and he ain't got to pay for nothing, and he's smashing later on. If you show me that, I'll be quiet. I'll shut up. I'll come up on here and apologize, man, if I see that. But I ain't gonna see it though, because ain't no woman in her right mind who's worth anything gonna sign up for something like that. Not for you. You know what I mean? If you was, you know what I'm saying? If you was LeBron or something, yeah, she might go for it. Straight up. But yeah, man, get up out of these spaces. But get up out of these places. These guys are lying to you. You're not gonna get better like that. And as a man, whose goal and mission is to walk and exude masculine energy, you can't do that being around a bunch of lames that speak to your pain all day, who don't tell you how to level up. You know what I mean? And a lot of these cats really are in these spaces and they want to leave, but they're afraid to, because they're afraid of getting called a sellout and all of that. At the end of the day, it always comes back to a lack of confidence too. You know what I mean? They're just too confident to make a move. Let me tell y'all something, man. I was talking to my wife earlier today, or maybe yesterday, about it. And we were just reminiscing about this one brother that we know. And he's a good brother, man. Very smart, went to one of the best, private colleges in the area. Very smart brother, man. Very smart brother. But as God is my witness, by the majority of people's standards, this brother was a lame. This brother had, a non-Black American edge up. Edge up was never sharp. You know what I mean? Like his gear was suspect. Whatever you use to define whether a man is a lame or not, or a select brother or not, this brother didn't have none of that. You know what I mean? He talked all day long. Every time you talk to him, I could say, "Hey, what's up?" And he would want to talk for like an hour about something that I don't want to talk about. And he would do that with women, all of that. And there was this one female that he was checking for hard. And we knew all of them. And there was this one female he was really into. He liked this girl, but she just wasn't, he didn't have enough swag for her. He had no swag. You know what I'm saying? He had no swag. And he wanted this girl bad, like on the low, he wanted her bad, but he could never get her because he just wasn't her type. And so I remember one time I was like, yo, like this, I was talking to my wife about it. I was like, yo, this dude is a cool dude. You know what I mean? I even low key see a little bit of myself in him. You know what I'm saying? But he just don't know how to put it together right. You know what I mean? In order for him to move the way he wants to move, he don't know how to put it together right. He got a closet. I mean, like on a metaphorical level, it's like a brother who has a closet full of nice gear. You know what I mean? But he don't know how to put it together. Coach Ali, I see you, man. That's love. Appreciate that. And so he's like a brother that who metaphorically has a closet full of nice gear, right? But he don't know how to put it together. You know what I mean? He don't know what pants to match with this shirt and what shoes to match with these pants and the socks. And like, he don't know how to put it together, but he has everything. He has everything in the closet. He just don't know how to put it together. That's the way this brother was. He was a little goofy, but he had a lot of good qualities, man. He just didn't know how to put it together. So we found out on the low, like my wife and I, that he got him a little shorty now. He has a little young lady, with him. He's dating her, whatever. We go meet her. I think at this point they engaged or they about to get married or they were married. I'm not really sure. But we go somewhere and they're there. And no cap, like this man's wife is beautiful. I mean, his wife is beautiful. Like you would think, like, how did he do that? Especially if you knew him. You know what I'm saying? If you knew him, you'd be like, how did he do that? Like, what did he say? I mean, what did he promise her? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, what did he do? You know what I'm saying? But she liked him. She liked the fact that he was goofy. She liked the fact that, you know, whatever the other 90% of people out here in this world thought was lame about him, She thought it was cute. You know what I mean? She's really into him. And when we go around them now and hang out, like, I don't get any negative energy from them. Like, she, doesn't want to be bothered, or, she doesn't want him to touch her, whatever. Like, they're very intimate. Like, they're very close. She brags on him. You know what I'm saying? And the one that he was checking for, she finally got it together, but she had to go through a few rough patches. She had to go through a few cats that weren't proper for her in order to, and then she settled down and she kind of worked on herself, and then she found her something, and they both married now, and they both happy, from what I can see. But this brother was, by every definition of the word, he was a lame. He was corny. And he got him one, man. He got him a beautiful sister, man. Loves him. Cook for that man, and takes care of him, and make sure his clothes right, and wipe the crust off the side of his mouth because he still have it a little sometime. But she look out for him. You know what I mean? He got him a woman who look out for him. And you incel cats, there's a woman out here for you, man. But at the end of the day, you got to focus on yourself. You got to look in the mirror. You know what I mean? It's not hard. Like, this dating game, y'all make it hard. Just work on yourself. Believe in yourself. Be confident in yourself. Make sure that you are pursuing the bag, because that's what men are supposed to do. We're supposed to go out here and get it. You know what I mean? A man ain't supposed to be broke. A man ain't supposed to be, borrowing, robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's not how we're supposed to move. A woman ain't going to respect that. And they trying to make babies. They're going to make little lame babies. All out of love. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And I'm a babysit. I'm a babysit the little lame baby. And it's all good. It's love. You know what I'm saying? Because, they found each other, man. At the end of the day, it was funny because as attractive as she, as beautiful as that sister is, she's kind of lame too. So like their lameness connected them. They were connected by the lame. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to tell y'all brothers, man, don't hide who you are out here, man. A lot of times y'all brothers mess up because y'all get involved with these cats who swear up and down they dating coaches. And they basically kind of promote y'all and tell y'all to perpetrate a fraud. Because see, a lot of you guys, y'all mess up because y'all try to be something you're not. And so you can't confidently live a lie for an extended period of time. You're going to get outed. And you're not going to really do it confidently because it's not you. I guarantee you there's a woman out here who's going to like your lane. She ain't going to care that you short. She ain't going to care that you 5'4". You know what I'm saying? She's not going to care. Tory Lanez stood up and was the same height he was when he sat, when he was sitting down. He had Meg. I mean, before he shot her, but that's irrelevant. That's not the point. You know what I'm trying to make. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be a short dude out here and get it. You could be a heavyset brother out here and get it. You could be a brother that likes, anime and get it. You just got to be confident in yourself, man. Women like confidence. Let me tell y'all something. Like, incels, I'm going to prove it to you. For all the ladies in here in this chat, whether you watching on Facebook, YouTube, whatever. I want y'all to be honest for a second, ladies. I want y'all, I don't want nobody to lie. I want you to look back over your life, right? At your relationships that you've been in. And I want you to I'm just doing this for the incels right now. I want you to look back over your life, think about the relationships that you've been in, right? And I want you to put a 1 in the chat if the man that you fell for the hardest in your life was the most attractive man you had ever dated. If the man that you fell for the hardest, if the man that you were into the most was not the most attractive man you had dated, put a 1 in the chat. If the man you loved the most or the man you fell for the hardest was not the most well-endowed man you've ever been with? Put a 1 in the chat. I just want the incel to see something. I want them to see something. If the man that you fell for the hardest, or that you loved a lot, was not the coolest man you had ever dated, was not the man with the most swag that you've ever dated, put a 1 in the chat. I want y'all to be honest. I just want y'all to tell the truth. I'm trying to speak to the incels right now. Now I want y'all to see this. Ain't nothing but 1s in the chat. Nothing. What does that tell you, incel? That these women, the man that they dated, that they fell for the most, the man they dated that they loved the most, that they were really, really into, like they just loved this cat. Like the thought of seeing them got her excited, made her giddy. He wasn't the most attractive man she had ever been with. He wasn't the most well-endowed man that she might have ever been with. He wasn't the richest man that she's ever been with. He wasn't the man with the crispiest mouthpiece that she's ever been with. So you don't have to ascend or try to ascend to those heights. Number one, you ain't gonna make it anyway. We can't change our meat. You know what I'm saying? You can't make the meat bigger. You know what I mean? You just got to live with what you got. You know what I'm saying? Me and my man Gabe and Chris and C Boog, we did a whole video on that, man, how brothers can step up their sex game. So, but you can't change your meat. You can't change your package. So you got to live with that one. Okay. But these women are telling you that their first loves, or the man that they fell for the hardest, the man that it took them the longest to get over when it didn't work, or if it didn't work, was not the man that was the tallest, the most in shape, the coolest, the best dressed, you know, the most well endowed, none of that. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't. He was a dude that he might have been confident, and you know, he might have had a good personality, had a sense of humor. You know what I mean? You know, she felt comfortable around him. She felt like she could talk to him about anything. And that's what got her open. So all this stuff that y'all think these women are looking for, a lot of this stuff, you know what I mean? Y'all are being lied to, man. You're being lied to. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Look, there are women out here like that. There are women out here who trying to go get the biggest pipe they could find and the most money they could find. There are women out here who are looking for that, who are willing to risk, you know, commitment and intelligence and faithfulness and integrity. There are women out here who are willing to sacrifice all of that to go out here and get the dude with the biggest wallet and the biggest pipe or whatever. There are women out here like that. But the fact that there are women out here like that, that's not your problem. Your problem is you like women like that. Why do you want women like that? Why are you arguing about women that you claim are undesirable? You spend your whole life on YouTube and these private groups and you know, in these private on the dark web. You spend all day talking about fat black women with kids with multiple baby daddies. So why are you talking about women that you don't like? If you don't like them, if they're undesirable, if you wouldn't sleep with them, if you wouldn't date them anyway, why are you talking about them so much? Y'all ain't never heard me talk about Brussels sprouts. You know why? Because I don't like them shits. That's why. I don't like them. So I'm not going to talk about them. I don't talk about stuff I don't like. I don't talk about people I don't like. I don't. I'm not going to do that. That's a waste of time. And it's a waste of your time talking about women you don't like. Straight up. Like, what are you doing? Your problem is that you really low-key like these women. You really want those women, man. You want those women to crawl to you. And you think that they should crawl to you because you think in your mind that you're different. You think that you're different from the Pookie or the Walmart Tavius or or the, Trey Davion or whatever. You think you're different from them. But how are you different from them if you only intend to do the same thing to her that Walmart Tavius is going to do? All y'all dudes talk about, look, I've seen plenty of dudes, man, on YouTube. I mean, on Facebook. And no disrespect to them, but I've seen brothers on Facebook, right? They'll put a picture up of a young lady, and this young lady is she's attractive, you know what I mean? And you just know off the top by the way these guys talk, they've never been around a woman like that, let alone try to step to her and bag her, right? But somebody will put a picture up and they'll say, would you pump or pass her or something dumb like that? You know what I mean? Would you pump and dump or stay and play or whatever? Like, I don't know, like some lame. And all these cats will be in there like, yo, I'm pumping and dumping. Like this chick looked like Sanaa Lathan with crazy, with crazy hips or whatever. And they talking about, nah, I wouldn't need, I'm pumping and dumping. That's it. Like, yeah, stop lying. Stop lying to yourself. If a woman like that ever stepped to you and was trying to cooperate, you give everything up for that woman, and you know it. You be signing all kind of co-signing cars and all that for that woman, and you know it. If you ever met something like that in real life, I'm telling y'all, man. Like, listen, you are what you hate. You are the male version of these hood rats that you claim that you hate so much. You are their male. You are their opposite. You are the yin to their yang. You need these hood rats. Or else you wouldn't have nothing to talk about. Your life wouldn't exist. Your life would cease to exist if you couldn't talk about hood rats no more. It'd be over for you. If you were Thanos right now, snapped your fingers and all the hood rats just evaporated, and there was nothing but just feminine dimes out here everywhere that's willing to cooperate, what would you actually have to offer that woman? That's what you got to ask yourself. It's not about her. Look, man, when you become a man, the biggest lesson that you're going to learn, the biggest lesson that I had to learn when I finally grew up and became a man, was that it's about me. I can't control women. I can't control other people. I can't do it. I can't control anybody else. I can only control myself. So I have to put myself in the best position possible in order to be successful. And when I do that, I knew I was going to find something right. You know what I'm saying? That's the mindset you have to have. You know what I mean? Like, y'all, one of the things that's how I know these incels aren't real, because when you really break them down and you study incels and their mindset and their mentality, the whole thing is based on sex. They call themselves involuntarily celibate. So it's not about building nothing real with a female. It's not about building a real relationship where we're building, we're connecting, we're complimenting and cooperating with one another. She's believing in you. She's investing in you. You know what I mean? She's nurturing and nourishing you. They don't want that. They just want the cheeks. You know what I'm saying? You tell on yourself by your name. You only care about the celibate part. You only want to bust a nut. A decent woman, the women that you should be out here trying to go get, they ain't there just for you to bust a nut. They want a masculine man of means that they can believe in. That when they wake up in the morning, they say, you know what? I know I'm going to have a good day. Why? Because so-and-so is my man. So-and-so is my husband. So when I'm with him, I feel safe. I feel protected. You know what I mean? I feel provided for. I feel like whatever obstacles are gonna come my way today, I know if me and him together and we clicking and we linked up, we gonna make it. We gonna be all right. That's what the type of woman that you want. That's what that's her mindset. That's her mentality. You really ain't no different from the Walmart Tavias, bruh. You want to do the same thing. All you want to do is pump and dump. And so she's like, look, if you want to pump and dump and the hood dude want to pump and dump, y'all both offer me the same thing. I'm going to go with the one that looked the best. I'm going to go with the one that has the most swag. I'm going to go with the one that has the most drip. Because at the end of the day, y'all are offering me the same thing. All y'all, based on what you're saying and based on what he's saying, all y'all offering me is meat and that's it. That's it. That's all you offering me is sex. And so you think in your mind that you deserve it over the hood dude because you're not a hood dude. You think because you're a square, and you think because you got a good job at the plant, and you think because you got a 401k, you got a couple $100 saved up. You know what I mean? You think because your your Toyota Corolla is paid off, you think that she should choose you over the hood dude. Let me tell y'all one reason why I did this show and why you're gonna always have balance on this channel is because I have a son, right? I have a son. So my son is going to get the game. Every ounce of game that I have, I'm going to give it to my son. But you know what else I have? I have a daughter. I'm sure they both supposed to be sleeping. I'm sure they act, up, running around when they're supposed to be in the bed asleep. But I have a daughter as well. And she's going to get every ounce of this game. She's going to get it. So I have to prepare her for the incel. I have to prepare my son. One day my son is going to grow up. He's going to be in high school. He's going to be in college. He's going to fall for a female. He's going to fall for her hard. He's going to love her. He's going to come home. He's going to say, Dad, look, man, I met this female. She's bad. He's going to show me her picture. He's going to say, Dad, what you think? I'm going to be like, these are conversations that I'm going to have with him when, his mama not around. I'll say, boy, look, if I was you, hey, I see what you see. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect, but I get it. I'm going to elevate him. I'm going to hype him up. And he's going to be so excited over this woman. And she's going to hurt him. She's going to hurt him. She's going to break his heart. She's going to have another dude, or, they're going to grow apart and he's not going to be ready. And, he's going to want to hold on, and she's going to be like, nah. You know what I mean? And he's going to get his heart broke. And I'm putting this content out so that when that day happens, if I'm not here, if the ancestors say, Frank, we need you, it's your time, it's time to go to the ancestral plane. Before my son gets there, I want him to look at this video. I want him to listen to this video and hear my words. You know what I mean? And my daughter too. Getting hurt is not the end. When you get hurt, when your expectations aren't met, it's not the end for you. You don't have to, turn to an incel. You don't have to hate all women. You don't have to do that. You got in one bad situation that didn't work out the way you wanted it to. Life is nothing but lessons. You know what I mean? I got to show him, D. Shout out to Don. I got to show him. I got to show my son how to move after he get hurt. Because I don't care how hard us men act. We get hurt. You know what I'm saying? We hurt too. The only difference between a man and a woman is we don't show it. This world is not designed or set up for us to show our vulnerability. But as men, we get hurt. We get disappointed. You know what I mean? We wanted a female that we didn't get, and it hurt a little bit. Or we had her and we found out, she was talking to another dude, or she was texting somebody else, or whatever. We get hurt too. You know what I mean? But it don't mean it's over. It don't mean your life over. It don't mean you got to be an incel and all women are trash. It may happen more than one time. But when it happens, you got to focus on yourself. And I can speak to y'all honestly and candidly about this because it happened to me. I was never no incel. Like never. I was never no incel. I'm not bragging on myself, but I ain't never been involuntarily celibate. But I've been in relationships before where, a relationship, excuse me, where it didn't work out the way I thought it would. And I put a lot into it. I invested a lot into it. I was cupcaking a little bit when I shouldn't have, you know what I mean? Low key simped a little bit when I shouldn't have. And I learned my lesson. And I was mad too. I was mad at the world. Like, yo, I can't believe this chick. And you know what I mean? And these chicks is this. And I was on that for about a few days. And I talked to my dad, and my dad pulled me to the side. He said, Frank, you're going to be all right, man. It's life. You know what I mean? It happens sometime. You make sure you chasing your paper. You make sure you get some principles up under you and you stand on them. Learn from this situation. Learn from this relationship that didn't work. You didn't stand on your principles. You let stuff slide that you shouldn't have slide. She would do certain things and you wouldn't check it. You know what I mean? I saw that, like my dad told me straight up, like we had a man-to-man conversation. He said, yo, the writing was on the wall for me about a year ago. I knew y'all wasn't going nowhere. I just hope you didn't have a kid with her. But I knew y'all weren't going nowhere because you allowed her to take you out of your element. You were young and you didn't know no better, and she probably turned you out. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad talked to me like that. He said she probably turned you out, so your nose was wide open, and you let some things slide you shouldn't have. You have principles that you didn't stand on. You did not guard your manhood. Your manhood has to be guarded at all times against enemies and loved ones, both foreign and domestic. You have to guard your manhood at all times. Even people who love you, who challenge your manhood. Even when you're in a great relationship, your girlfriend, your fiance, your wife, if a situation may come up where your manhood is challenged and you need to stand on some damn principle, stand on something. Ain't nothing wrong with saying, look, I ain't going to tolerate that. If that's how you want to play, you can play it, but you're going to play it by yourself. I'm up out of here. Ain't nothing wrong with saying that and meaning it. She wants you to say that. Fellas, she wants you to stand on something. So I've been there, incel. I've been there. I've had a bad experience with a female. I got hurt. I ain't too big or too manly to come up on here in front and lie like I ain't never been hurt. Like my expectations were always met. I'd be lying to y'all if I said that. But I had good men around me. I had good brothers around me who gave me the game, who wouldn't let me sulk, who wouldn't let me put the blame on anyone else but myself. Frank, it was you. You let her slide. When she was getting slick with the mouth and all of that, you didn't check her. When she was doing certain things and everybody, Ray Charles with a blindfold on in a dark room could see it, but you couldn't. We tried to tell you. So you gotta focus on yourself. You gotta get confidence. You gotta get your swagger back. If you ain't never had your swagger, you gotta find it. Find it within yourself. Work on yourself. And then put your best foot forward. And I'm telling you, you're gonna find somebody out here. There's gonna be a woman out here willing to line up. And when she's willing to line up, you offer her something more than you just not being celibate no more. You offer her that. So that's all I got for y'all, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all, too much longer. You know what I mean? I want to thank y'all, you know what I'm saying, for coming up on me, man, listening. You know what I'm saying? I just want to tell these brothers, man, stay in your lane, man. You know what I mean? Every brother has a lane. You know what I mean? I don't care who you are, incel. These brothers out here that you think are fly, who you think are getting all these women, they have a lane. And the only difference between them and you is they understand their lane. They don't step out of their lane. You know what I mean? They or if they do, it's every once in a while, just to see how they can progress. But they understand who they are and where they are. And they stay in their lane. You know what I'm saying? Want somebody that wants you, man. Stop going for these Instagram chicks, man. Stop going for these super thotties, man. That's your problem too. You passing up on a lot of good women, man. You know what I mean? You don't like her because she wear glasses, or you know what I mean, or her hair. I don't know what making up in your mind to convince yourself that certain women aren't on your radar. But I'm telling you, man, I don't care. There are some beautiful women out here who are just plain Janes. Like, that's just not them. They don't doll up like that. They don't go out like that. They don't wear revealing clothes like that. But I guarantee you, you know what I mean? She working with something. She just don't show it. She's low key. You know what I mean? And when she find the right type of guy will bring that up out of her. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we've all seen women who, were very beautiful, but they didn't have the confidence either. Like, yo, I can't wear this, or I don't think I should wear that. You know what I mean? Beautiful women, beautiful shapes, nice skin, all that. It's just not in them to be sultry or sexy or things of that nature. But then when you step to her and you see what, everybody else doesn't see, when you see in her what she doesn't see, you can help bring that up out of her. You know what I'm saying? So you can bring that energy up out of her that's always been in there, that she was afraid to, let loose. Straight up. A dude, I'm telling you, man, there are women out here who are low key, if they were in a room, you wouldn't even know they were there. You know what I'm saying? But then they get with the right dude and, he just pouring into her, and all of a sudden, she start to feel herself. She start feeling sexy. She start feeling, good about herself. She's wearing, her outfits are changed. Her, she's putting heels on. Her makeup game is right. And you like, who is this chick? Where she come from? She always been there. She just lined up with somebody, a good dude. And you could be that good dude for a plain Jane type of female if you're willing to get over yourself and get past yourself and get out your own way. You can do that, man. You can do it. But yeah, man. So that's it, man. Incels, man. They out here, they weird. They got some issues. They got some things they need to work on. And if you hear this, and you an incel, and you listen to this, somebody passed this to you, or you just hear it in passing, whatever. This is no shade. This is no disrespect. You know what I mean? I'm not here to disrespect you. I'm here to help you. And I'm here to help you because somebody helped me. You know what I'm saying? Somebody helped me. When I was falling off the edge, or when I didn't know how I was moving or where I was going, you know what I'm saying? Somebody pulled me to the side and said, Frank, man, tighten that up, man. You know what I'm saying? Frank, you acting a little too soft right now, man. You're doing too much. You know what I'm saying? You need to get back on your grind. You need to get back to the business of being the best you could be. And when you do that, everything else is going to take care of itself, man. Stop looking outside of yourself. All the answers, listen, all the answers that you need, all the solutions to all of your problems are within. It's in you, man. You just got to figure out the best way to bring it out. And you can't do that by blaming people. You can't do it by blaming these women out here. You can't. You don't understand how women think or move because you don't understand how you think. You don't understand how you move. You just move. You don't know why you're doing it. There's no logic behind it. You're doing it off emotion, which is a feminine trait to begin with. So you already out of order being an incel, acting like an incel, moving like an incel. You already out of order. You already out of pocket because that's not masculine. That's not a man. A man looks in the mirror and says, you know what? I'm good, but I'm happy at what I've accomplished, but I want more. I think I'm a good cat, but I can be better. I've been married 14 years, man. I still think of ways to be a better husband. Still. I don't rest on the fact that she married me now. I done gave her, she done gave me 2 kids. It's a wrap. It's over for it. You know what I'm saying? I still wake up every day thinking of different ways to be a better husband, a better man, a better father. And that takes me doing work, shadow work, soul work. It takes me working on myself. You got to work on yourself, man. Yo, if y'all enjoyed this, man, you know what I mean? Like it, comment on it if you choose, subscribe to the channel, share it. It's all good. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? I have a lot of, if you want to email me, if you have a topic, you know, for a show, and, you know, you want me to touch on it, you know, y'all all know, for the people who've been here for a minute, I have a Man Cave Mail series that I do. I think we already, I think we just finished up Man Cave Mail number 5 last week. I got about 3 or 4 Man Cave Mail emails in the wings waiting. I've already reached out to them and let them know, hey, I got y'all. I'm coming through. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do shows for y'all. So for those who don't know, the Man Cave Mail works like this. So I put my email out here, and people email me and they say, hey, Frank, man, I want you to talk about this. Or, hey, Frank, you know, this is a situation I'm going through. You know what I mean? I've had all kind of joints. I've had ladies email me, say, Frank, man, I'm about to get married to my husband. I'm nervous. I want to make sure that I'm satisfying him. I want to make sure that I know how to satisfy him sexually. Do a show on that. And then I got me, Gabe, C-Bug, and Chris. We did a show called The Pleasure Principle. You know what I'm saying? Just basically trying to get women to understand, you know, us and how to be better lovers, how to be better wives, how to be better women. And before that, we did a show for the fellas, teaching them, like, you know, I was reading all these articles, and all these articles were saying how women ain't being sexually satisfied, how women 30, 40, 50 years old never had an O, never had one. So we did a show. I got up with C-Bug, Chris, and them, Gabe. We did a show trying to help brothers out on how to step up your sex game, man, how to pick up on cues and all that. I had a woman email me, say, hey, Frank, man, you know, give me some traits on how to be a good wife. You know, what does a good wife look like to a man? So I did a show on that. So people email me all the time. I got, you know, at least 3 or 4 more already worked in the wings waiting. So if you have a comment, you know, a question, concern, a topic or whatever, you know, you can email me. You know what I mean? If you want a consultation, if you say, Frank, look, man, I don't want you to do a show on it, but I just want to run something by you, you know, just give me 30 minutes or an hour, whatever, we could talk about it. I just want your opinion on something, and I got you. I slide you a little something. I mean, I'll let you know what the rates are when you email me like that, but I do those as well. You know what I mean? Just giving sound advice. You know what I mean? I don't really tell people what to do or what not to do. You know, I work on probabilities and I work on risk. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you both sides of the fence, and I'm going to tell you, here's the risk of you moving this way. Here's the risk of what could happen if you move this way. And I'm going to give you all the facts so you make the best decision for yourself. I don't tell you what to do. I just want you to make sure you have the most information possible so you can make the most informed decision for yourself. So you could do that. Also, if you want to contribute financially to the channel, I am monetized now. So a lot of people came through with the super chats. I respect y'all. I love y'all for that. Appreciate it. If you want to contribute via Cash App, you can do that. I'm on Cash App, $ View from the Man Cave on Cash App. I'm on PayPal as well. PayPal.me/View from the Man Cave. I think that's all I got, man. Y'all be safe. Y'all wash your hands. Y'all stay 6 feet away from me, from other people. We still in a pandemic. Stop playing. And I will see y'all next week, man. Every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to get me, View from the Man Cave, man. So on that note, y'all be safe. I love y'all. Till next time. 1. Peace.